Okay, sociology assignment, Tuskegee experiment. Okay. Okay, what are my thoughts? Okay, my thoughts immediately turn to see what exactly the disease is. Okay, what is syphilis? Syphilis is caused by a parasitic spirochete called Treponema pallidum, and it is transmitted by sexual contact or exchange of blood or other bodily fluids, as well as from mother to fetus while in the womb. There's two different types. Okay, one is acquired, and you can become infected via cuts or sex. I was surprised to find out that dentists have contracted syphilis from sores with their patients' mouths and not wearing proper BSI PPE. BSI, body substance isolation. Very, very important for nursing. And okay, there's two different types, acquired and congenital. And congenital would be where the child was infected in the womb as the mother was giving birth. There are four different stages of progression. The primary stage, week 1 to week 5, and it forms syphilitic canker on the genitals, rectum, or mouth that heals within 1 to 5 weeks. Then there's the secondary stage, week 6 through week 24, and that's dissemination or the metastatic stage, where the bacterium enters the blood and lymph nodes. Signs and symptoms include maculopapular rash presenting as pustular or scaly and hard. Unique to syphilis is are the sores on the palms and of the hand and the soles of the feet. Other symptoms include swollen lymph nodes, fever, sore throat, patchy hair loss, headaches and body aches, and extreme fatigue. It's systemic, and the disease spreads to all of the major body systems. This is the most infectious stage, with these sores that are just absolutely chock full of spirochetes. Number 3, we move into the latent stage. Okay, and this is a dormant or asymptomatic stage. Okay, and it can either stay in the latent stage for the remainder of the patient's life or move into the tertiary stage. Tertiary syphilis is very serious and would occur 10 to 30 years after the infection began. In tertiary syphilis, the disease damages your internal organs and can result in death. There are 3 different kinds of tertiary syphilis, and that would be cardiac, neurosyphilis, as well as ocular syphilis. I believe in my research what they were trying to determine was the effects of the black population with regard to the neurosyphilis, where it was thought that white folks would just be more predisposed to cardiac syphilis, and this group here was supposed to be more predisposed to the neurosyphilis. I do not have a citation for that, however. The treatment is fairly simple. When this study came out, the penicillin didn't exist. It was I believe it was a mercury formulation that they were giving the patients. However, now as the penicillin is the go-to therapeutic. However, it will not reverse bodily damage that has already occurred. Okay, the study itself is the Tuskegee study of untreated syphilis in the Negro male, now referred to as the USPHS syphilis study at Tuskegee. The study initially involved 600 black men, 399 with syphilis, and 201 who did not have the disease. researchers told the men that they were being treated for bad blood, a term used to describe several ailments including syphilis, anemia, and fatigue. In exchange for taking part in the study, the men received free medical exams, some free food, and some burial insurance. The burial insurance was about $35. Major points. Why was the U.S. Public Health Service Tuskegee syphilis study unethical? There is no evidence that the researchers obtained informed consent from the participants. And the participants were not offered available treatments even after penicillin became widely available. My citation with that is the CDC government website. What I found surprising was Eunice Rivers' role in the recruitment of patients for the experiment. Eunice Rivers was a nurse, an RN, and she actively recruited within her own community despite knowing the nature of the experiment and the consequences. I found that absolutely amazing. Okay, there are different types of consent. Okay, there is implied consent, which okay, as an EMS provider, that is where you come across the patient. For example, if he has overdosed and he can't speak for himself, you have to advocate for that person. Then there's express consent, which is a clear and direct statement of agreement. And then there's informed consent. Okay. Valid informed consent for research must include three major elements: disclosure of information, competency of the patient or surrogate to make the decision, three, voluntary nature of the decision. U.S. regulations now require a full detailed explanation of the study and its potential risks, since all of this occurred back in the 70s. What do we need? Why do we need to implement steps to maintain ethical actions in research? I believe that these men in this study, were honestly, truly incapable of making a truly informed consent type of a decision. The group was living in such a state of poverty, and their educational level, I don't think that they would have understood even if you had tried to discuss this with them. They desperately needed an advocate, and this is really the failings of this study. The nurse in charge of the study, should have been aware of the consequences of untreated syphilis. And I found that stunning. Okay, especially to do it with members of your own community. The legal term for failing to obtain informed consent is considered battery. Okay, which is a criminal matter. Okay, so. And it works the same with EMS. If you do not have permission to touch that patient, you don't touch that patient. And or you can be charged with assault and battery. Or battery is a form of assault. I can't believe that they paid these folks off. They ended up with about a $35,000 settlement at the end of all of this, which is really nothing. The lawyers honestly made out a lot better than the patients who got victimized in this study. Alright, that's all I have for now. This is kind of my experimental video. I hope you guys all like it, and please comment. If I post this to the YouTube, please like and smash the subscribe button. Alright, everybody take it easy. Thank you very much, and I'll look forward to hearing from your comments.
Who's stopping you from killing me? Disasters, fiascos, or loop by PE. If it's I instead of we believe in TV. Spreading riches, bitches, as we think about snitches. Watch the masses move as the masses switches. System distant, but barely missed her. My soul intention to save my brothers and sisters. Get up!